Hi, this is a brief comfy video, an addition, shall we say, to my upscaling video, which I posted a day or so ago. And this is just about one of the nodes, which I had a sort of some input in making. I made the original noodly version of it, and David at McBoaty turned it into a node. So I thought I'd do a quick video showing how to get the best out of it, because it's not always exactly obvious, and people get the idea that you stick an image in one end and it'll come out lots better at the other. And this is almost true, but life is rarely that simple, and if you've used Comfy at all, you'll know that life is very rarely that simple. So what I want to look at are the problems you could encounter, and how to get around them, and how to stop them happening in the first place, indeed. So here we have an image we're going to upscale. And it's always best to be upscaling with the same setup that you made the original image with. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's not a bad idea. So we've got our prompt here, and this is the prompt that made this image, and this is the LoRa that was in there to give the Walter Crane decorative effect. And I chose this image because it's bound to go wrong. And we'll go over why it's gone wrong. It hasn't gone terribly wrong, but I'll go over the reasons why the problems that there are occur. So here's the result. And it's pretty good. I mean, the girl's good hands, good feet, good everything really, and the border is rather nice. But when we start looking closely, there's a lady there's a lady up in the tree there. And there's another one here, although I don't mind here, she's almost part of the border, isn't she? So, and this isn't as bad as it might be, and we have a seam, look, we have this tree that sort of ends here. It doesn't really matter. I'll have a look and see if it does that. Oh, it does that on the main one anyway, so it's just copied that. That's all right, I thought that was a seam. You can probably find seams. I can't find it. They're very often hard to find. That's one there, maybe. No, it would be about there. No, it's pretty seam free. Generally, the McBoaty Upscaler refiner is pretty good with seams. It doesn't often make seams. The times it will make seams are when you've got a completely clear sky, like in a sunset, when it gradates out, and you'll get seams then. There's no avoiding it, really. And I'll just explain why, for example. So the McBoaty node, don't ask me why it's called McBoaty. It's the fault of people on a Discord server. And yes, Manny, it's your fault. Anyway, so one thing the McBoaty node will do is output the tiles that made this up, which can be very handy when you have a glitch, because the glitch on a seam, that is, because you have the tile both sides. So we've got a slight glitch on the foot there, but this tile doesn't have it, if you see what I mean. So we could just take that bit and retouch that in. So let's have a look at the tile that produced the lady in the woods, and we'll go over why it produced the lady in the woods. Now, remember, the prompt here is all about this lady. She's got blue eyes, a slight smile, standing. There's a whole line just about her. So when the model, the sampler, is processing, it is trying to find a lady. And if there's anything in here that even slightly could be a lady, it will try and put one in. And this is especially true when you're doing illustrations where an area might be very ill-defined and watercoloury. So all the sampler has seen is this image, and it's tried to put a lady in, and that's why we have that. And the same on this tile here. Take that tile. It's tried to find a lady. It's rather nice, pretty, that tile. And if we look on the tile below, there's no lady. So the way we can help this along, there are a couple of things we can do. One, the Walter Crane LoRa has a person in every single image it was trained on. So if we take the LoRa right down to 3.5, because it's already done its work here, and we're prompting for Walter Crane, so that can go down to 35. And what we want to do is to demote her. So we've still got a beautiful lady, she's still alone, but she doesn't need a slight smile and blue eyes, and she doesn't need to be standing. And then look at what the image is most of there in the image. Most of the image is woodland. So what we'll take is empty woodland and winter. We'll leave the beautiful. We might actually put smile in. We might leave out the beautiful. and we'll have the smile, because we'll leave her alone. Now you've got the decorative border, so the frame 1.5 is over the top. We don't need that. So we've got a bit of this is general. This one here is general quality stuff, and that's why it's in brackets and weighted, because I don't want any of those words to dominate. But there I can give an overall feel. Birds and animals we don't want. So that should reduce the chances of extra ladies. We'll run it exactly as it was before. There's a chance it'll still put ladies in, but we'll see. So we'll do that exactly as it was before, but we'll change the seed. The other thing I should mention is you need an image up to this standard to begin with. Some very blurry 768 is not going to refine Upscale very well. You can see why it made a lady there. That's a bit of a blurry. I might in my lady removal, and here as well, in my lady removal plans, if I really couldn't get rid of it, I might go into Photoshop and I would just clone out those bits where it wanted to make a lady, and you'll find that the lady would vanish. But we'll leave them in, so we've got a high lady risk. Okay, so we'll run that and see what we get. So here it is back, and we've still got some ladies. We lost the lady up in the trees there. But we've still got the lady here. I think that's just the original input image. It's that's already too ladylike. I think that would have to be edited out. But there is another way you can get rid of her. We can lower the denoise. I would probably edit that. So this was designed to show. This image was designed to show another problem, but it hasn't managed to show it. Of course, I carefully put the seam right through her face. You see here, which occasionally produces doubling on the features slightly, but there isn't any. It mostly doesn't do it, but I was trying to provoke it into doing that, and it didn't do it. The other way, of course, is to lower the denoise to 25, and the price of doing that is to reduce the amount of refinement. So the refinement is very nice in here. We retain the style. It's very beautiful. I think with 25, it's always a trade-off. You'll probably lose the extra lady, but you'll lose some of the beautiful refinement on the face. I'll run it at 25 so we can see, but one thing you can do, of course, is run it at it only takes 6 minutes on my poor old Mac. So you could run one at 20, one at 35, one at 45, and pick the best bits. But at 45, you're definitely going to get a greater population of excess ladies. We'll run it at 25 with the same settings and see what difference that makes. So here we are back. I actually ended up at 20, and our imaginary ladies have gone. And the refining is still pretty good. So I'll show the difference in the different passes with the face. So this is the original face. This is put through McBoaty at denoise 20, at denoise 25, and at denoise 35. 20 is still pretty good if we go back to the original. There's not much to choose between them really. Everything here is a little bit more defined on the 35. Okay, so we've looked at how to use it properly. Now let's look at how to abuse it, because that's always more fun, isn't it? So you can accept a certain amount of change, because you can do several passes and join them together. So if we went up to 45, we're probably going to get seams, girls and changes. But we could add some stuff in here. We'll give her a smile back at the risk of more ladies. We'll put in some decorative stuff. We'll put in William Morris patterns, and we'll put in, what else? That's probably enough. What have we got in here as well? We have a stream, don't we? We have a stream. What else would we like? Cottage? No, that's probably going too far. Okay, and I've updated the loader, and what I've done, if you'll see, I've removed the bits that were becoming ladies, and you can always do this, and then you can use a slightly higher denoise. So if you run it if you actually see a bit where it wants to make a lady, then you can just clone that out in Photoshop. So we're up at 45. I would expect some seams and some extra ladies, but we'll see what else we get. So here we are with the 45 denoise back, and as predicted, we have a lady in the distance there. However, the refinement is better still. The refinement is fantastic now. All of the decoration here, the detail on her dress, all of this is very beautiful. The boots are now very beautiful. Got a little waterfall. We have some extra ladies, as I predicted. There's a lady in the border here who's rather nice, rather like her. The lady in the distance, well, you have to clone her out, I'm afraid. But I think you get my drift. By going up on the denoise, we do cause some problems. But you also get a benefit. You've got little fires in the background. I have no idea what they're about. And we've got a beautiful castle in the distance now. Look at that. So it's your choice. You can go mad on the denoise, and you'll have to take the price of that, which will be in extra hallucinations here and there. But I hope you still notice there is no ghosting on the face, which is now very beautiful. The extra denoise, it's been sort of a price worth paying, really. Okay, I hope that's useful and shows how you can use the node. And remember, you've access to all of the original tiles here. So these are the tiles with the overlap. I should perhaps quickly mention the feathering. The feathering is at 64 pixels, and 64 is the sort of level for a 1024 image. So as this image is 3000 pixels, you could probably afford a higher feather. And so basically, the larger the image, the higher the feather value you can use. If you did 128 with a 1024, you would get visible seams. That was because the feather would be greater than the overlap between the image. That's it. That's that node completely covered, and I'll put a link to it in the description below.